Uh, uh, hello? Let's see if we can maintain the we maintain the illusion. I think we're back. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I believe we just dropped. We just dropped for like 20 seconds, and because we dropped for like 20 seconds, everything broke. This is my life now. I want you all to know that. Is there a canon map of let's see. Talking about what's so done? Oh, excuse me. Is there even a canon map? No, there is. I don't believe there is a canon map of Gensokyo. Most maps of Gensokyo are built by the community. We'll call it. So I'm using the Narratograph map because the Narratograph map is fine enough. So let's see. Residents of Hideki Manor. So the residents of Hideki Manor, that's going to be our justification for doing certain things and having our certain... why are you this way? See, I insult Lord Ganesha. You know, I insult Lord Ganesha's chosen people, and suddenly my stream dies. Coincidence? I think not. Praise be to Lord Ganesh and the Indian people. Truly, I will see the way. Hello. We're talking Toho. And my stream fucking killed itself. Also, yes, the IT people did get me. They did find me and they did strike me down with furious intent. Yes, they struck me down with rigorous intent. So, we're back for a time. We're gonna be trying to get through the toot stuff because because the commission has not gone through yet. So it's a lot of waiting on that front. Always remember that. Oof. Dings from people. Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah, I've learned that fun fact. Like, the one thing that's thrown me off is, like, he still has paid you. No. At least I've not received any indication that he has. So, we're not working on it. So, actually, no, we do Euclides notes, and if we want to do... Oh, God, Yakumo. Would you consider that more purple? Like, would you consider that more, or her colors to be more purple or pink? Let's do pink and purple dress. Yeah, so purple or violet. So I guess that would be the Yakumo color palette. So if we're looking at that, if we want something a bit lighter, we would go... Google. Not quite what I was looking for, but good attempt. You know, why don't I just copy paste? Actually, Yukari Toho. Yeah, let's do the real Yukari. let's do the real Yukari instead of ones where they try to make her prettier. Let's do. Can we get something real light? That? Yeah, okay. Are there men in Gensokyo? Yes, but you're playing Toho, so you're kind of missing the point. Here we'll put it as a nice, like... Little lighter. There we go. Yes, good old. Can I find the wheelchair? Every time I see this, every time I see it, I laugh. Fucking Euchre in the wheelchair. Good times. But let's get back to real work. We don't need you anymore. Hit that loop. All right, amazing. Yeah, so let's see. We don't need you. So if we determine power rating, yes, determining our power rating. If we go here, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we do that power ranking. Well, PR starting now. Harsh player. Nope. Idea solid. Need a better lead in. There we go. So, powering, to give you an idea, your Remus, your Marissas, and shit like that, your actual canon characters in Toot Toot are like here. Like that's where your like default level is. Like you start here. You start at power ranking 4. Like basic bitch fairies are like 1. Like a fairy that is like a dumbass fairy, not Cherno, mind you. No, Cerno. It's like generic fairy 1 is power ranking 1. You're a 4. Remu and shit is like 10, and like Remu, Marissa are like 9 and 10. Like they are vastly stronger than you. But the entire point of it is you are a bunch of, yeah. This is the Toho OC simulator game. So the question is, how do we create more Toho OCs? No, I'm attempting hostile takeover's commission. Should speed it up. Hostile takeover of his commission. I mean, I've always said that. I mean, like, if it happens. But yeah, so generally speaking, if we assume this is default Toho OC level, lower end character, lower end, we should say lower end canon characters. Remu and shit. Remu and shit. Remu and Marissa. Make sure. There we go. We're also going to. There we go. So it's kind of the idea like, oh, do you want to fight Remu? Remu is going to nerf herself down to a power ranking that is literally able to not just instantly evaporate you. Like, why? Because Rimu is nice that way. Yukari nerfs herself down to fight with people because Yukari is nice. Because the way that she views things is, I'm going to fucking kill you. I have my window open slightly so I can look out. Someone can very easily look in at me and see what I'm doing. I can look at them, like my neighbor across the way there. I can look at him. He can look at me. I think we share a special bond with one another. Oh, people, why are you all the way that you are sometimes? So, attributes, up to character. Yeah, we actually changed these. Okay, now we get to hear fun noises as I, like, scoot over to my... Let me bring out my multiple notebooks I have now. Is this relevant to anything? Yes, it is. That's very relevant. I need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Is this a bookmark? Yes, it is a bookmark. Okay, you all go in here. Shove it over there currently. So I believe it's in this notebook. So I actually changed these. Let's see. Not resonant abilities. Let's see. Not the One Piece battle system. Not reworking City on the Hill stuff. Okay. Here we go. So, I thought about adding, so the new stats are currently beauty, speed, might, currently magic slash magic control, actually I should say magic control. I don't quite know how I want to word that. And then some combination of wisdom, density, smarts, complexity, etc. Those are the current new stats. I'm leaning toward wisdom and magic control. But instead of using the elements here, I'm like, okay, it might be better if I do that. So... let me see, do I have... no, I don't have any more notes there. Okay. That was kind of my basic idea. Like, I liked the idea here. I don't think it was executed very well. Okay, you two can go away now again. Yeah, we have to just fix up a lot of this. So, so it should be species. Next, what we can do is people of Gensokyo. Yeah. So, we are going to keep divine. Now, my note for divine is... there we go. Keeping, you know, just that they are divine. Again, it's not the idea that... evening. Doing me like an Iro. Hello. Hello, Dirty. How are you doing? Ooh, doing pretty well. We're just focusing in on things. I had to get my notebook. Got my soup here. Keeping an eye on the time because I'm going to have to bail. Not feeling the best. Ugh. Colds are the worst. Especially when it's not like I'm dying level cold, when it's just like I'm not feeling good. Like you can't justify really like, oh, I'm gonna take the day off work or something, or I'm just gonna lay in bed and die. No, it's like I gotta feel like I gotta do something, but I'm gonna feel like shit doing it. Yeah. See, unfortunately for me, it's like I don't have a cold, but I have to keep the aircon running, the air conditioner running, because if I don't, my room heats up really fast because it's 98 degrees outside. So with my aircon going, it dries the room out. So I like my nose gets all runny, but it's not fun runny. It's I'm gonna blow my nose and there's a chunk of blood that comes out because my nose is bleeding because it's how dry it is. I'm like, oh fuck. Uh-oh. Mm. 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 There we go, but out of combat skills, ghost. Yeah, ghosts are still there. Humans can stay there, you know. Mm. 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 So what I'm going to do here with yokai are getting like the largest just rework fundamentally, because we have to be a lot more specific about it. So we're going to have Tengu, crow / wolf. They're going to be operating off the same idea, and they're just going to be Tengu oral, Oni, animist, which is just animal yokai in general, just in general. Spirits, catch all for anything else. We're going to have dreamers, which are Satori and company, because in case you want to play our favorite Koishi. Lunarians aren't yokai. Aren't yokai, but have a gun. Demon / devil ? A bit weird. Vampire, lesser vampire, I should say. I thought I added vampires. Go away, Nazarin. Nazarin, no, you're not supposed to be here. The vampires are going to be their own thing. Sukomogami, which I'm just going to call dolls because I know what that is. We have Ghost, Jianshi. It's Jianshi or Jiangshi? Jiangshi. Yeah, Jiangshi. Not Jianshi, it's Jiangshi. Mm. Mm. So there we go. We got our very basic ones there. Now, if I remember talking to Cole, he added... Let's see... Inchling Jiangxi. Yeah, so... technically we have something. Technically, what we can add, and I added this in kind of as a side note, we have Maho, which is magician yokai. So effectively, things like patchouli. Where did I put it in here? Did I put it in my other note? Might have. Let me check my other. This is an actual notepad, like notes. Oh, here we go. This is an actual like notebook I use for work, and I write things down in it. So we've got that. We have a Hanyo, which is just a human yokai. Let's see. Yeah. And technically, there are like werewolf, because there is a werewolf in Toho. Like that's one of those things. Kagero here is an actual werewolf. She's not a, yeah, she's not a, yeah, yeah. They're lycanthropes. They exist. Then you have another one. You have her, who she's a yeah, Harutuko. I'm like, all right, that seems like a completely different thing. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, not stop bleeding. Kagurabot. Thank you very much for the gifts. Thank you. Nah. Yeah, no. It is the worst feeling in the world when you're like, it's in the morning and you blow your nose and you just get a globule of blood there and you're like, I'm dying. I hit the die button and I'm gonna fucking die. What disease do you have? I'm gonna fucking die. What? There's nothing fun about it. I just fucking die. Yeah, technically... Yeah, like, technically, she's like, oh, I'm a mid-boss. Like, yeah, I'm like, that's cool. But yeah, no, it's Kagero, yeah. Yeah, like, technically, Kagero here is the only one. Like, she doesn't show up very much. She's in, like, she doesn't really do that much. She's just a werewolf. And you're like, why are you here? Yeah, she can transform into the Honshu wolf. It's like, oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I get a little bit through it, like, do you add a lycanthrope as a completely separate entity, or do you keep it as just an animate? Like, that's kind of the thing with being an animist, is that you're a Therian. Like, but what's the symptoms? Symptoms: runny nose and tummy hurt. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna fucking die disease. That is the best way to think about it. It is the I'm gonna fucking die disease. It's my tummy hurt. I have a runny nose. I can't think. Yeah, no, it's awful. It is the I'm gonna fucking die disease is probably the worst one out there. But yeah, so right now, werewolf and like Therian in general, there's an argument to have them as their own thing, and there's an argument to not have them as their own thing. Maho, I'm leaning toward adding Maho as its their own thing. It's like patchouli. It's patchouli knowledge, effectively. Like, she is a yokai. You know, patchouli knowledge is a yokai. She's just a magician. She's a witch, and she was a human who turned into a yokai. That's the idea, and that's why they're always worried. It's like, but what do you call like Alice? Like, that's always the funny thing, is it's like, what do you call what do you call Alice? like Margatroyd. Like, what do you call her? Technically, she's a magician that was a human who turned into a yokai. But then it's like, okay, you've got this, but then you have like Marissa, where, you know, Marissa Kurosame, she's human. She is just the, you know, that's kind of the joke almost. It's like, she's a magician. Like, everyone knows she's a magician, but she's not a yokai magician. So it's like, all right, like, yeah, it's not too. That's like the, oh no, she might yeah, she might turn into a yokai. That's like the big fear, is that she might turn into a yokai later on. So it's like, all right, yeah. And some of the original, yeah, one of the original Marissas. Yeah, the original Marissa and original PC 98 Remu. Good old PC 98 era. Got soul with a V in it, so you know it's important. But yeah, like, fucking zooming and drawing Marissa. See, if I had bravery in my heart, I would do all the artwork myself. I would just draw two characters poorly, but I'm not nearly brave enough. You need a purge to get rid of the cosmic death fungus. Real, like, honest to God, it does feel like you have to do that every now and again. But yeah, like, that's my current list of things that need to add. Pretty much just splitting yokai up into many different variants to give each one a little bit more. Because again, the entire idea is that this is the Toho OC simulator. If we're playing our Toho OCs, of course I want to be my very own OC. Now, Scribble did put, I sent the same list to Scribble. And he did bring up a very valid option where it's like, I want to play Tenkajin, or I want to play New, and like, I want to play these weird fucked up characters that are like 1 in a billion or whatever. Like, that is a thing that I understand. But I think a lot of them can also fall, like, if you have something really specific, it'll probably be a spirit or a deity or a divine, and that's just your gimmick. You may look very different, but you are a spirit or you are a divine, and that make those kind of like the two really generic ones. Like, part of me wants to, like, I like the idea of making Lunarians their own thing, because they're not technical. Yeah, like, one of the biggest jokes is that technically they're Lunarians, but they kind of do their own thing. You know, like Kaguya. She's like, yeah, they're not yokai. They're just sort of yokai. They're yokai enough. And they also might be rabbits. Yeah, the Lunarian Defense Corps. Yeah, we got some good old, yeah, cryptids, humans, all the different, you know, varieties there. So I'm like, okay. I think in theory, everything should work in this case. Like, most everyone has some kind of place, if that makes sense. Bar, like, I don't know if, like, do you add dragon as its own thing? They're, like, you don't get many dragons. There aren't. Like, you get, like, very few actual real dragons, but Yeah, like like do you let people play dragons? Probably not. Do you let people play Newt? Probably not. If you do, there's yeah, you're a fucking PR4. You're fucking weak. If you did the art, I get a feeling you see drastic improvement by the time you were done. See, again, I would just have to, like, how to draw, like, what is it? How to draw Toho characters? Where's that? Yeah, there we go. Zune teaches drawing. It would literally just be this. Draw a silly head or bonnet onto your lolly. There's no decoration on your lolly's head. She will die. Draw flesh-colored tubes for legs. Don't worry about drawing knees, ankles, or other anatomy parts. Your audience won't notice. Avoid drawing hands at all costs. Hide them behind clothing or other objects. Imagine a water balloon with sausages sticking out of it. That's how you draw hands. Randomly add ribbons and frills to her outfit. The more you add, the better your character design. And the worst part is, like, people have done this and, like, have just drawn legally distinct Toho characters, and it works. Like, that, the absolute worst part is that this is exactly correct. This is how you should draw Toho characters, and it works. That's the best part. It does. It totally works. And I can confirm this because I've actually tried this before, just to say that I have. I've done it, and I've drawn a Toot girl before, and I'm like, oh, it works. Yeah, I'll always remember that. It totally fucking works. But yeah, no, I'm not very good when it comes to art, and I can really only do it with, like, a pencil or pen in hand. I can't exactly do it, like... Yes, if her hat is ever lost, she dies. Again, very accurate. Like that. Always gotta remember that. But yeah, adding a lot more stuff there will be good. Now we get skills. Let's do Sung. No, not Sung Maru. Sugi. Maru. So we're going to do heading 3. So skills and hindrances. Good idea. But man, this looks like ass. Yeah, like some of the skills are supposed to be very, like kind of more like oh, lore things. The lore, like we could probably add more. Man, this looks like out of combat. There we go. Use what we have to work with. Yeah, it's adding like a million notes to myself. So. All shapes and sizes, bizarre fairy, boldness. Like, bizarre fairy might get cut because that might just get folded into being a fairy. Like, boldness, Let's see. Engineer, erudite. Like half phantoms, like that might be its own thing. Like magician, effectively the idea is like, how do you make... No. So, if we think that Alice is a yokai formerly human. Actually, I should say former human. we know that her race is technically a Maho. She is a magician. That is her race now. That is her species. Now, how do we make Marissa? Because how do we make Marissa? Because Marissa technically is human, who is also a magician, rather than a magician who is a yokai magician. So I'm like, there's a part of me that wants to have the idea of like, oh, as a Maho, you get this bonus. You can select being a Maho magician, which would be the idea, like you're literally just doubling up. You're a better magician than most. However, you still get the benefit of it, but like a human can select to be a magician, or anyone else can select to be a magician, they just don't get the double bonus. And it's like, okay, there's a couple ideas that we could work there. Lunarian, I know, is going to get cut. Let's see, musician, old blood. Perfect body. Phantasmal dash. Go away, Weemu. Weemu, what are you doing? Spiritual power, Therian. Plus a barrier, transformation, vainglory. Yeah, like technically, like vampires ended up being divine. Is this like, eh? So yeah, like that's gonna get changed. At the monies. I want to keep this fairly, honest to God, bringing in a lot more of the idea behind narratograph. Some of the ideas behind narratograph, when I played that, I'm like, okay, I think I can take some of the ideas here. And having the idea being like, here's your deck of cards, here's your deck of items and stuff. Being able to say, I have money. In lore, magician yokai only qualify as yokai when they turn biologically immortal. Al said to be a breakpoint is they no longer strictly need food or water to survive. Yeah. I was trying to get in screen time to stop him before he can get a spoken line of dialogue. No toot? Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Like, as a Maho magician, you are someone who is either walking that path or has already hit that point. Like, you are no longer, you don't need food, you don't need water. You're not quite immortal yet. That's PR10, you know, that's PR8 or something like that. You haven't quite hit the full extent of your power, but that's kind of the idea. And it's like, as Marissa, it's just like, as a human magician, you are someone like, okay, I haven't really learned how to do that yet. Now, the thing there would be is I would need to have a side note, probably a Yukari note, which would be if a human magician learns how to effectively become immortal, if they get offered that and they learn how to do it, they become the Maho yokai, and they get all, and you pretty much replace all your human benefits with that one. That's also one of the ways that I'm letting people, if their character were to quote-unquote die, they can just immediately come back. That's kind of, they can come back to life very easily, because ghost, spirit, Jiangshi, shit like that. Like, you always have an out. No matter what, you can always, like, oh, my character's alive. Why? They're a ghost now. Fuck you. That's kind of the idea. So it's like, there's a couple ways of handling this, but I feel handling it early is going to be better now than later kind of thing. When it comes to, okay, actually, animal bane, animal yokai, yeah, like this, like animal yokai, like, I know what I want to do here. Like, the idea is, like, you're not even human. You don't look human. You're a fucking... Like, oh, yeah, no, it's like, oh, here's Nazarene. Here's Nazarene. Look at her. She's a little mouse girl. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at her. She's the little mouse girl. Isn't she so cute? Everyone, ooh, ooh, give me an ooh in chat. Like, being an animal would be like, I'm a literal mouse. Like, I'm a literal fucking mouse. And like, that's my power. It's the fucking Ashley mouse meme. It's this. This is just what you look like now. You are literally just a Leon, look, no. Yeah, Moushly. Like, this is just who you are. You're Moushly. You're not Nazarene, you're Moushly. That's kind of how I want to word it. Yeah, so... Let's see. Blockhead, the character's as sharp as an orb. Yeah, like, some of these can be pretty easily, like... Yeah. Cannot use the Don Ma what? Charge Dull barrier. Forgetful. Forgotten phase. Nine Crow Wanderer. Out of their league. Shouldn't really be here. Shikigami. Hello. Hello, no. Stick arm. Stronger than them. Yeah, there's a... Yeah, so there's a couple different options here. Let me spell card creation. Ugh. Actually, you should... So, spell card belongs to character spell deck. Combination of vulnerability items and spirit they have a master in the session. Here to left 4 personal spell cards designed by them to be used during the Danmaku. So... So, cost 0, only kept in hand, need to be discarded. Type 2, holy fuck, holy fuck. Holy fuck, fix this. Holy fuck, fix this. Let's see, grid fat. Yeah. Spell card effects. Yeah, we're gonna need to have to fix all of this. We're going to fix all of this, and it's going to have to look better. Good morning or something, Uvu. Crazy? I used to be crazy once. Put me in the room full of mice. Mice made me crazy. Yeah, it's... Toho has a lot of, like, those weird little exception clauses. It's like, oh, well, you're this, except not. Oh, but only when this happens, except not. Then you're this. And it's like, god damn it. That's what I'm trying to keep, like, here's a bunch of options, and here's ways to get around those options. Let's see. Yeah, we need more. Yeah, graphic design is my passion. We're gonna have to fix this up. Again, Don, Spirit of Rhapsody Accelerate is not long. Yeah, also. Yeah, do you like my amazing artwork? It's great. I don't know what you're talking about. So let's see. Deduction seeds, multiple characters. Every sort of scene takes place or them with something they're successful or learn something about the incident. The check is not an immediate failure. It's simply this chance building up their deck. Competitive games may include characters stealing items. Maybe Burt permanently discarded before they used properly, but gives the user a powerful effect. Don, yeah, good old fashioned Don Maku. Don Maku without really. Let's see. Let's start Don Maku. He draws up to their hand side by the power rank. He not added back to the deck. Character will need to recharge to get them back. Don Maku battles are split into phases. Representing that. Repair their banner. One critical save the next in the down counter, removing them from the Danmaku. Probably give up. Start Danmaku. Each character will make an earth jet. Should determines how fast characters are moving. Yeah, we can probably. We're gonna retro. We're going to retrofit. Retro. We're going to retrofit this entire system. Currently, barriers can get a little bit large, so I want to make sure they're doing that more. Do I? What the fuck, notepad? What the fuck, notepad? We don't need you anymore. Phases. So phases in action. So yeah, effectively, I had the idea of Danmaku Rhapsody of Spirit Accelerate. You most could get something from resolving incidents, like the entire idea behind the phase system is you resolve initiative effectively in the phase. So it's like, okay, let's say I have a third. Let's say Rimu has like initiative. Like Rimu acts on a 9. Marissa on 8, and fuck, I don't know who's the latest villain from fucking. Let's see. Let's see who's in the bamboo. Let's do Scarlet. We'll do Scarlet. Let's say we're fighting Ryzen. We'll be beating up Ryzen. Everyone hates Ryzen. Everyone hates the former Lunarian. So let's say we are fighting Ryzen here, and she goes on 7. So under this idea, quick action, Rimu Marissa Ryzen. Spell cards, Rimu Marissa Ryzen. Dash, Rimu Marissa Ryzen. That's kind of the idea, is like you're going through that multiple times per phase, but a lot of these are very simple actions. That's supposed to be the big thing, is, hey, what are we doing? Fire bullet, melee attack, minor movement, play item card. There's no rolling or anything. This is technically a diceless game. There's no dice involved, so it's very... The goal is to keep it pretty snappy. Like, yeah, And you see here it resolves phase 3, resolves phase 4. Because technically, getting hit in melee means you resolve the damage faster. So you could get hit, you can get hit by bullets in phase 2, but you technically do not get hit until phase 4. So you can do things to push back the amount of damage you can take. Like the... Yeah, reducing barrier, see. So it's kind of the, you know, it's kind of like, okay, am I actually resolving things? Am I actually getting hit? Am I actually... So if you're playing like a fairy or something similar to that, you might have some abilities to let you push back the phase. So you may defeat an enemy there, even though the next round you would lose, you would die, but hey, you beat them first. But if you're ever forced to skip a phase, so it's like, okay, phase 2, oh, skip. You have to skip phase 3. You would go straight here. You would just lose this entire round. Yeah, and then we have pawns. Pawns are just fairies. Yeah, no. We're not using experience points. Yeah, there we go. We're setting their deck. Okay. Because the basic system is literally just compare, like, yeah, you have to make a judgment. Do you succeed at this? Yes, no. It's like, yeah, TN3. Do you have an attribute that is 3? Do you have an appropriate attribute that is 3? Yes. Cool. You don't. You can get rid of cards in your hand to make it better. You don't want to, but you can. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, like some of these, like... What the fuck did I mean by that? Yeah, so I think the basics are in place. Like it's effectively a board. Like it's the unholy child of Golden Sky stories and a few other things. And I'm okay with that. Post more food pics like a normie notepad. I should post more food pics. I should post it on my secret Instagram. My sexy Instagram. You get power points from killing shit, and you get score points from killing shit, but also score from narrowly dodging bullets. I literally, yes, I have an Instagram that I literally just upload photos for my mom. She's my only friend on Instagram. I upload photos for my mama. That's literally it. And I usually put shitty comments on them. But it's like me taking pictures of like food and stuff. That's all I do. Like I don't do Instagram or anything fun like that. That's not my kind of thing. See, there's things we could do with that if we want to have different points. Like, oh, you get power points for winning fights. You get like different kind of points for doing well in the scenario. So it's kind of like that dual mix, like, oh, I want to play a character who is dog shit at everything but really good at fighting. Cool, you're going to get... Damn, I ended up with notepad saying something. I always say something interesting, Horo. You have to remember that. One of the ideas what we could do is, like, if you make a character who's just bad at fighting, you may get all your XP from out of combat stuff. And the vice versa, be like, oh, I'm really bad at doing anything outside of combat, but in combat I'm pretty useful. I think that's valid. And I think that's not a bad idea. But it's like, how do you balance that really nicely? My thing right now is like, how do you balance combat like that really nicely. There's a part of me that wants to like redo how combat is in general. But like it's like how far can you deviate from the original premise? I think that's the big question here. It's like how far can you deviate from spell cards and stuff like that and make it still work? I'm like, You have a minimum, you have minimum level of proficiency for both ends. Yeah, pretty much. Like you have minimum level of proficiency. And part of the whole point on Maku is, yeah, again, it's like it's not necessarily like you're just hopeless at it. It's just like, yeah, that's not your thing. You didn't pick up powers and abilities to give you bonus movement or ignore damage or whatever. You picked up abilities to give you like +2 to like investigation stuff. That's kind of the idea. Like you can still fight, you still do it, but you just don't get those bonuses. You have willingly chosen to take things that are more story focused or more like investigation focused, rather than just, I get to move more, I get to hit harder, and I get to ignore damage. Like you get more shit. That's kind of the idea there, those special abilities and stuff. It's like, yeah, this isn't useful literally in any capacity, in a fight. However, this is useful now. Because even if you think about it, like a +2 doesn't seem like a lot, but a +2 takes you from an average to a difficult automatically. And if you have two things that stack together, you can go all the way up to complex. So it's like, okay, you can do most things very easily. And that's saying, oh, well, I don't need to spend my cards to do something. So I have a bigger deck versus the person who doesn't have the big deck and sucks. Ooh, I should buy that rice cooker, shouldn't I? I don't want to buy the rice cooker. I want to buy the rice cooker, but I don't want to buy the rice cooker. Truly, I live in pain. But yeah, that's kind of like, there's a part of me that wants to rework the combat system, because I actually like the ideas that Narratograph does. Huh. I like the ideas that Narratograph does, but there are aspects of Narratograph systems that don't work too well. Mostly when it comes to the 1-2 happy dance. Like the 1-2 happy dance that's an issue that people know about, and it's hard to. It's like, how do you get around it without just playing kind of that honor system of not doing it? For those who don't know, with Narratograph combat is divided into these six spaces, and both sides have their own bases. So what you're doing is you're like, oh, I'm gonna roll like 4 d6s or whatever, and you're putting bullets. Here, I'll make this bigger. It's like, oh, I'm gonna put bullets in these because that's the dice I rolled. And oh, you've put bullets like here. Like, oh no, you have very little health. Now the problem is, the optimal thing to do in nearly every situation, because bullets dissipate at the end of every match. The bullets dissipate. Let me see if we can. And because they dissipate, usually the best thing for you to do when it comes to movement is just go back and forth. There's no punishment really for not just going back and forth between two spaces. So it effectively becomes that, one through 6, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It really only matters that you have like 2 numbers. Like that's all that really matters now. Do they roll the two numbers? No, just do. Like the thing that I want to have happen, and what I would like to have happen in a game like this, using this very far more, I would say, structured. I don't think that's the right word for it, but that's the best word I can kind of think of right now. This more structured system is like, okay, you're forced to kind of move around, and when they completely fucking saturate the field with bullets, you're just like, okay, I'm gonna try to, move over here, dodge these bullets, so I have a little bit of free space and things like that. But that's just not how narratograph functions. And that's like the one big issue that I have with the game. People have... How do I want to word it? People have done things to fix it. There was one where you can't move back into a space you already occupied. There was one where, like, bullets can stop you and do things. It feels like... You're putting a bandage over a gushing wound. That's the issue. It's just like, yeah, you're fixing it, but not really that. You haven't addressed the main issue. So it's like, how do I like that, but I'm like, do I want to keep it on the full grid? Do I not? Do I even want to have the idea of multiple people fighting at once? Because that's a thing, and it's one of those things where I look at it, I'm like, because very rarely do you actually have, like, two people fighting at once. It's very, like, you see it in, like, shows and animation and, like, certain things, but, like, in game, you never see, like, Marissa and, Rimu on the same, like, Marissa and Rimu at the same area, if that makes sense, fighting the same boss. And now do that with 4 people. I'm like, okay, how do we make that? It feels like we're doing something it feels like there should be a better way of doing this, but I don't know what. Like, do we change the combat system entirely? Do we shift it into something a little bit maybe more complex, maybe easier? It feels like there's a lot of options, but none of those options feel right. I think that's the biggest issue. None of the options feel perfect. And I think that's the part that really rides my lightning. Really annoys me more than anything. I'm like, something's wrong. You could fix it, but what? It's like, and I guess that's the kind of the ultimate question. It's like, something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but something is wrong, and I don't know how to fix it. I wish there was a way. I wish I could. I wish I could clap my hands and be like, "Here it is. This is the secret." But if any of you, I'm probably gonna call it here because I still need to go to the store and find fucking butter. But if any of you have any suggestions on how to do that, how to make the Danmaku more interesting or more compelling, feel free to put a note in. Feel free to DM me. There is a possibility that I abandon base premise now and try to rework it into something else. Toho isn't just bullet hells anymore. There are more things. But I want to keep the diceless aspect and the deck. I like the deck, and I like the diceless aspect. But it's like, okay, how do I make this work? I've done it once already. I did it with fucking Arknights. I could do it with Toho, god damn it. Actual IRL violence. You gotta fist fight the GM. Man, I don't even know what the fuck to call the GM. That's the worst part. Because there's some bullshit you could probably do, being like, yeah, no, you're literally just, Like, you're the person literally writing down shit going on in Gensokyo. You're the unimportant person writing shit down that happens between actual real important events with real people. You're like, eventually, people remember all the shit Rimu does. They don't remember what the fuck you do. You're fucking D-listers right now, man. Even that's a compliment. Like, I say this as I open up manga decks and see a Toho Daujin, immediately there. So, all right. Thank you all for coming. Godspeed. Good luck. Hopefully, I will see you all probably tomorrow or tonight for some of you. Most likely, I'm going to try to stream early in the morning tomorrow for me anyway. So it'll be at nighttime for you. So 2 streams in one day for some of you. But yes, thank you all. Godspeed, good luck. I'll probably be on later tonight, so keep an eye out for your boy Notepad, as he has his grilled cheese if it fucking kills him. So I am, as they say, away. Godspeed, good luck, and I'm probably gonna get a beer later. Yep.